So, is anyone else really bothered when you're trying to explain the concept of the Twilight series to someone and they just don't get it? Like, they're like, oh, I've heard about Twilight, what's it about? Well, it's about a girl who falls in love with a vampire. Dead silence. And you're kind of like, ooh, that doesn't do it justice. So you jump in and you're like, no. I know it sounds weird, but it's awesome, and I promise you, it's amazing, just read it. And they're kind of like a girl who falls in love with a vampire, and then you're like, but it's Edward Cullen. This is different. It's words cannot describe it. And so I was trying to think of a way to, like, explain it to people without it coming off as just basically the love story between a girl and a vampire. Because that sounds kind of creepy if you don't know the background and stuff. And this is what I came up with. Oh, what's Twilight? Well, Twilight is the story of a very, very handsome, dazzling, hot young man who's 17. In fact, he's been 17 forever. Now, this boy, named Edward, has never loved anyone until he met Bella Swan. He's fascinated by her, drawn to her almost. But she senses there's something different about him. And then she finds out he's a vampire. Dun dun dun! No, I actually have no idea. I just made that up right there. See, it's hard. It is hard. You know, everyone who explains it is just like, it's a story about a girl who falls in love with a vampire. That's when I lose a lot of people. But then there are those folks who are like, okay, and then you're like, alright, you got the Cullens. And then you have to go and describe the Cullens as vegetarian vampires, and people who don't know about this, like, have no idea what a vegetarian vampire is. For example, when I first heard the term vegetarian vampire, I was like, what, do they suck the juice out of fruit or vegetables? Like, I imagine them taking celery and just sucking the water out, and I was like, that can't satisfy their thirst, I'm pretty sure. So then you have to explain, but Edward, he's a good vampire. He's a vegetarian vampire. He only drinks the blood of animals. Of course, then the people you're explaining it to are like, oh, that's nice. He only slaughters animals. So then you recoil by saying, well, humans eat animals, and then it gets into an argument. So, I think that if people ask you what Twilight is about, you should just say awesomeness and just walk away. I'm not even sure if awesomeness is a word, but just say it, turn around, and walk away. That way, you're kind of planting little seeds in their mind, and then they're like, oh, I'm curious now about this awesomeness. They start reading it, and hopefully they can get past the boring Bella part at the beginning, and then they get to Edward, and they're like, oh, awesomeness. Yeah. We need to think of another way to describe this. Alright, subscribe or I'll bite you new videos every day-ish. Website check it, peace.
And who am I? That's not a secret I'll never tell. You know you love me. XOXO.